Hello beautiful people and welcome back to another video by your girl here, Big Bubbly Beauty. It's so good to see you all again. So I know my filming background, I did it up and I thought it was really good, but I had the camera really close to me, I guess. And so obviously there's like a bunch of blank stuff here and here, and that will get fixed. I promise. Actually, there's more on the way in terms of shelves and stuff, so I can put more plants up and more paintings and stuff. So that will be fixed eventually. But I didn't want to stop filming in the meantime, so I'm here with a unsponsored haul of overly sponsored or overly hyped products. So I hope you enjoy, and let's get into it. So, because I am barefaced right now, I think the first thing I'm going to start with is il maquillage. So obviously I cannot be alone. I've seen multiple YouTubers do videos on it of trying il maquillage because it's so heavily advertised. And they have this like little thing where you're supposed to be able to find your perfect shade by this sort of online quiz thing. So I took the online quiz. Now, when I got the bottle though, I looked at it and went, oh no, I think it's going to be too dark for me. So that's going to be a bit of a problem, but I got the foundation and the concealer, and they sent a free little gift with it as well. So that's what was in this il maquillage box. I will bring up the prices in just a minute, but I want to show you the products first. So this is the foundation. It's really cool because like the box has this little magnet, although it seems kind of wasteful because I don't know who would keep the box. Anyways, it's cool packaging, but like I don't really get it. But this is the Woke Up Like This Flawless Base Foundation, and just it looks a little dark. Although when I did say it was a little dark, I was much more pale, so maybe now it's okay. I doubt it though. And this is in the shade 040. I tried doing the quiz properly, and I swear to God, I picked not the absolute lightest because I don't think I'm like super porcelain, but I picked like the second lightest, and it still came pretty dark. So I don't know. And then next is this Il Maquillage I'm Flawless Multi-Use Perfecting Concealer. I do love the name, but I'm not too sure how much I should say those swear words on the internet. Yep, I don't know how many children watch my videos. So again, it looks like the same shade. It's in the shade 25, which looks a tiny bit lighter. Kind of hard to see actually. So let's just, oh dear. This is not gonna match me whatsoever. I planned on being orange. And then this free gift is the Il Maquillage ink liner. I don't really do liquid eyeliner, so not really anymore. Okay, good. It's like at least a pen tip. I mean, it went on pretty nice. It's pretty fine line. It's black. Guess we'll try it. I don't know if I'm gonna be good at it, but we'll try it. So Il Maquillage does have this thing where you can try the shade of the foundation and then return it if it's not the right shade. I am outside of that return window, so unfortunately I can't. That's my fault, that's not theirs. So the Woke Up Like This foundation was $44 and the concealer was $28. I mean, the concealer's overpriced. No matter how good a concealer it is, that is overpriced for concealer. But the foundation, it's pretty high end, but it's not astronomical. Like, that's not a terrible price for it. That's decently reasonable for a high-end or higher-end foundation. So that's not bad. But let's crack this puppy open, even though I already know this is not going to go well. If this oxidizes, I'm screwed. I'll just have to pull it down my neck. Thank God I'm not wearing like something short and V-cut. Yeah, just even looking at that, that's so much more yellow and dark than I am. And I don't think I mentioned this, but I'm going to try one side with a sponge and one side with a brush. So we're just going in on this side to start with a sponge, which sheared out to look like I didn't do anything. Fenty Beauty foundation brush. The Rare Beauty one and the Fenty one looks very similar, but this is one of my favorite foundation brushes. So not gonna lie, I do kind of like that. And I like the finish so far. Let's just do my forehead with it and see what how it does up there. I like the amount of coverage the brush gives, but I might go over it with the sponge at the end just to kind of give some moisture back in, because it does look a little dry to start with. So we'll see how it does on my forehead, because right here tends to be a massive dry patch usually. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's not sitting too bad actually. So I've already used 2 pumps. But my face is not done, so we'll use a bit more. Now this is quite a liquidy foundation. I don't want to tilt it too much because it's going to run, but you do have to use a bit more of it, which is a little unfortunate. Am I being crazy, or is the shade match not as bad as it looked in the bottle? I'm just going to go over all of it with a damp sponge just to help it sink in. I think it's a medium coverage foundation. Like, you can still see some of my acne spots showing, but it's covering up them somewhat. It's not light coverage, it is more of a medium coverage. I will say it's a bit buildable, but you're also able to shear it out pretty easily, so it's nice. The finish, I will say, is turning a little bit dry, which is not my favorite. Maybe it's more like light coverage, like I can still see a lot of my spots coming through. I will give it credit though, the shade match isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And maybe that's just because what I can see from with the lights isn't terrible. If it oxidizes though, I'm still screwed. Let's see how the concealer plays, because I really do think of a foundation and a concealer as a bit of a box set. I know that's sometimes a wrong way to think about it. Like, you can have your favorite concealer be one brand and your favorite foundation be another. That's for sure. But with a brand like this, I find that I like to think of them kind of together. If that makes sense. So I'm going to judge them together. Oh yeah, this did not cover up any of my scarring. Wow. Also, the applicator is like weirdly hard to get in and out. So if the amount of lines on my face are any indication, I am not having a good time with my skin right now. I'm trying not to be too judgy, but the shade match between the concealer and the foundation is terrible. Like, it is so much lighter. What the heck? So I'm just going to go through here and like almost lighten up my foundation. But also the concealer just doesn't move. Like, you put it down and it stays kind of patchy and streaky. I'm hammering this in my review. Damn, I thought I was going to like this. All right, let's try this as an under eye concealer. Does it actually work on my under eyes and not crease? Okay, it's definitely a brightening concealer, so it's doing better on the under eye. It's not adding a ton of coverage for my dark circles, but it's definitely brightening things. And it's not settling super hard into my lines under my eyes, so I will give it some credit for that. But the coverage of this concealer is not great. It's just not great. So I'd say my overall review of this is that the foundation itself, the shade matching quiz, doesn't work. It got my shade so wrong, but like there really wasn't an in-between, so I don't know if that's the shade matching versus just the actual foundation itself. And it's got light to medium coverage. I believe it was touted as medium to buildable full coverage, which is what I asked for. It's not that. It is clinging to my dry patches here between my eyes and around my mouth. It's kind of settling into the lines around my mouth and on my forehead, which I really don't have lines on my forehead, so it's finding them and it's clinging to my acne. Don't know if that's the foundation or the concealer that is clinging to my acne, but one of the two. The concealer itself is not really good coverage for concealer. It's very light coverage, which is not my ideal for a concealer. I like a concealer to, conceal. So the concealer is kind of terrible for blemishes, but it did a good job of brightening my under eyes, even though it didn't necessarily cover anything, and it didn't really settle into my fine lines under my eyes that much. So for an under eye concealer, I might keep this, but I'm just not really a fan of either of those. Got foundation under my nails, which I don't normally have long nails, so does anybody else run into this problem where their makeup gets like underneath their fingernails? How do women with fake nails do it? I just want to cut these off right now because they already feel so dirty. Maybe I'm just a messy person. I've come to the conclusion that I'm not going to be doing the eyeliner, mostly because I don't want to. I'm not really good with eyeliner to begin with, and I don't think I'm doing a look that would be good for a black wing liner. I just kind of went really simple with it, and I'm kind of liking that. I didn't really want to put on a lot of makeup today anyways. So I find that if a foundation isn't quite working right for me, I can put on this Anastasia Dewy set and it just makes it melt into my skin a little bit more, especially on the dry patches. I very rarely have a foundation go oily on me, despite the fact that my skin is kind of towards the oily side because I have massive amounts of breakouts a lot, but I don't know, it never really goes oily on me, so they usually tend to go dry, and the Dewy set just works magic. I'm not quite sure why, so I do like it a little bit better. I will say that the foundation is overpriced and not really the best foundation. It's not the worst, like it's not terrible, but a few of the things that draw people in I wouldn't say are super valid in a sense, because the shade matching didn't really match. It was too dark. The flawless base wasn't so flawless. So that is my review on Il Makiage. The next product is a little bit of a weird one, I will admit. It is Overnight Oats by Simply Nailogical. This is not super overhyped, but I was watching a Sierra Schultz video, wow, words, and she tried this because it was pretty hyped up for her and her subscribers were asking her to try it. And so I got really intrigued because I had been looking for more easy, simple breakfast ideas for work. So I love the Boost protein shakes on my way to work because I'm really not a morning person. I really don't like to eat breakfast. And with my job, I have to get up pretty dang early to go do it when I'm on a hospital week. So I need something because then I don't really get to eat lunch until like 2 p.m. So I need something in the meantime, and it's got a good amount of protein in it, and at least the Boost shakes did, and this did as well. So it was 22 grams of protein. It's gluten-free, and the flavor was mint chocolate chip cookie, which that sounded amazing, honestly. And they used it with oat milk, and I used it with oat milk as well. You get a free blender bottle with a certain purchase amount, and you know what? These are actually pretty good. I tried it and I really liked it. It's actually quite tasty. It's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be, but I did use unsweetened oat milk. So if I wanted it to be more sweet, I could just add a bit of sugar. But overall, it's only got 6 grams of sugar, which includes 0 grams of added sugar. So that's huge, actually. It's got 7 grams of fiber, 22 grams of protein. That's actually pretty dang good, and it was pretty filling and a good taste. So I gotta say, this is gonna go into my rotation. So I'm gonna have Boost on the days where I'm not as hungry when I wake up. I'm gonna have this on the days where I'm a bit more hungry when I wake up, but I'm not like ready for food. So I actually think that this was a pretty good buy. Now, it wasn't cheap. That's the only part that sucks about it. So an 8-pack of these is $29, which is like just over $3 for breakfast. It's not terrible. And for 22 grams of protein, you could do a lot worse. And I think it's pretty filling. So I would say that this is kind of a win. I did get a huge mixed set of different flavors and stuff. So I think I'm gonna try those out because this is a good flavor, but it's not my favorite, I will say, because it's not quite, it tastes like it should be sweeter, but you don't want it to be sweeter because it's breakfast, and it's just a little off-putting to have like mint chocolate chip in the morning, but that might just be a me thing. But overall, it actually tasted pretty good. So I would think that these are probably a buy if you can get them shipped to you for relatively cheap in your area. Like, shipping to Canada was not great, but if you can get them shipped to you for relatively cheap in your area, I would actually buy this because it's a pretty good breakfast alternative, honestly. So that gets a yes from me. Next up is probably one of the most definite yeses of this haul, and that is Native deodorant. So a little while back, I decided to switch from antiperspirants, I know, terrible, to deodorants, and I decided to go with a natural deodorant. I'd seen an advertisement for Native deodorant from one of my favorite YouTubers, used their promo code, just tried it. I'm a bit of a sucker for advertising. But again, that's kind of the point of this video, right? Is to try the products that they advertise you so that you know whether or not the people who are advertising it to you are full of shit or not. Anyways, so this was actually something that I want to try. Now, For the first little while that I was using it, you do get kind of stinky. I found for the first 2 to 3 weeks, honestly, I was more stinky than normal. I'm not quite sure what happened or if I just got more used to reapplying the deodorant throughout the day, but I was finding that I was not getting as stinky, and I really liked the feel of it. It wasn't burning on my underarms as much. And the other big reason of why I decided to make the switch was because I was getting infected hair follicles. So when I would shave, then I would sometimes get these little abscesses under my arms, and I've had a few that have gotten quite bad, and it was just kind of like, I need to stop plugging the follicles. I need to stop setting myself up for failure, stop giving myself folliculitis and abscesses under my arms. So I was like, I need to do some switch to make it less likely. So I went with a deodorant instead of an antiperspirant. Now, there's definitely was a learning process. Initially, I thought I would be attracted to these sweet smells, these foodie smells, and I'm not. I had like this French vanilla and buttercream one, which smelled amazing, but as soon as I put it on, I felt like a weird cupcake. I just couldn't do it. But I did find ones that I really, really love. So actually, these are the two from my first haul, my first ever order with them, that I have completely used up. So this is the lavender and rose. I actually really like to put this on before bed as part of my bedtime routine, and it just makes you feel really relaxed. Like, I am pushing it up. It's got nothing more to come up. This is dead. It's actually popped off. I just popped it back in briefly for this video. So this needs to go in the garbage. But I really like this for my bedtime routine. And then my favorite daytime one is this cucumber and mint scent. It's still got some life in it, actually. I think it's because the daytime scents I didn't find my favorite until recently, and that is this cucumber and mint. It just smells fresh and clean, like you just came out of the shower or you just shampooed or something, like that kind of light, fresh, clean shower scent, and I really like it. So I bought more. Now I did try out I bought some of the fun scents as well, just to see about more scent range. Like, I know I don't like the sweet buttery scents, but I'm wondering maybe if the more clean or flowery or even kind of more masculine scents might be my thing. So I'm trying out this Jungalow Paradise Flower and Amber. I've never opened it before, so we'll see. Oh, that smells really good. I'm gonna like that one a lot. Okay, so it is a thing. I like more flowery or spicy scents, and less so vanilla-y or sweet baking scents, which is what I thought I would like. So in this order here, I got the little box set, and then I got this on the side because I wanted to try it as well. But I got the sensitive cucumber and mint one again, just to have a refill. Same with the lavender and rose. And then I got one of the Jungalow tangerine and citrus blossom, and palm leaf and bergamot. I didn't think I would like this, which is why I got it in a mini, because it sounded really spicy, and I'm not a huge fan of very musky scents. I stand corrected. That smells really good. Not very strong though. Like, I can barely smell that, but this one smells really nice as well. So this one will probably go in my call bag with me, just so I can freshen up when I'm on call. And it's tiny, so it'll fit. Let's try the orange, tangerine and citrus blossom. Not as big a fan of that one, just because it's a little too, well, citrusy. That should have been an obvious that it would be very citrusy, and I'm sort of on the fence about citrus scents, so messed up a little there, but it's not bad. I actually really like that. So I guess the Jungalow line gets my seal of approval in terms of smells, and my two favorites, as I still say, are the cucumber and mint and the lavender and rose, and I will continue to use those. I just wanted to switch it up sometimes, because when you start smelling the same all the time, then you get a little, I don't know, dead to it. So I like switching up my smell. And these are really nice. And some of those scents before too. I also got a cotton and lily one, and my boyfriend was like, it smells like deodorant in the bed, and he really didn't like it. So I switched off of that one. So some of them were fine, but just they smelled like deodorant. You could tell they were deodorant. Whereas these smell like a very gentle perfume, but they're a deodorant. So kind of best of both worlds. So obviously I love these because, you know, it's not my first order, it's my second order, and I've completely used one up, and now I have refills. As I said though, there are some scents that I don't like. So that buttercream one, there's this coconut and vanilla one that is just too, it smells too much like food. So the ones that smell like food I can't get behind, but the ones that smell like the tropical scents or kind of flowery scents or spicy scents, I seem to really like. So you kind of just have to know what scents you like and what you might like to smell like. But I really do like them. And now they've come out with plastic free packaging, which I obviously ordered this before they made that switch or offered that. So I still have the plastic packaging. Next, continuing to talk about natural deodorants, when I was trying to make the switch, I tried out Kopari charcoal deodorant. I don't remember how much this actually cost because I got it in a FabFitFun. I think it was $5. So I had the fragrance free and then the charcoal. The charcoal one broke before I could really do anything. So like it's supposed to be in there, not in the cap. It's still usable. It's just I'm using it wrong, but it's still usable. I don't like these as much. These are what I use if I've just shaved though. I will say that these are very good after shaving. The fragrance-free one basically doesn't have scent, but it also doesn't really block scents super well. It does block some scents, but it doesn't block enough, and I'm a pretty stinky person, so wouldn't necessarily recommend it. But after shaving, these are very, very hydrating, which is why I like the fragrance-free one for after shaving. I keep this one in my filming room, the charcoal one, because it's kind of broken, but I do it if I'm like getting too sweaty from trying on clothes for videos. I'll just pop a little bit on to make sure I don't smell bad. But I like the Kopari fragrance-free one for after shaving because it just makes it feel like soothed and moisturized, and there's no fragrance, so nothing's irritating it. It just feels nice. And then about an hour or so later, then I will put on my normal deodorant with the native deodorant. Second last, True Earth. I have been using these laundry strips for, oh god, like a year now. I really like them. So they have fragrance free, but they also have this fresh linen scent, which is my favorite. The fragrance free ones though, I get from my mother because she cannot handle fragrance. And the fragrance free ones are actually like pretty unscented, but still do a good job of cleaning smells out of your clothing. So that's good. These are really good because they're like little strips and they don't have all the packaging that normal kind of laundry detergents have. And I have a front loader washer, so like there's a little drawer and we just put it in we tear it up into little strips and we put it in a little drawer where the Tide Pods usually go. And I like it because it does a good job of cleaning my clothes. Now the loads that I normally do, I do have to use 2 of these strips in order to do a proper full load, so it doesn't do as much as it says. But I find it does a decent job of cleaning my clothes and making them smell fresh, and it doesn't damage my clothes either. Like, it's been treating them pretty well. It's pretty much the same as any other laundry detergent, really, at the end of the day, except that it's much more eco-friendly. So it's less packaging, clean, simple. So I really do like these. I buy these in a huge pack at a time, like a year's supply, and I don't get the subscription. I just buy like a ton at once so that I don't have to pay the shipping every time. And then after I buy that ton, then I just like use them until they're almost gone, and then I buy more. So that's typically how I do it, but I really do like these. They work really well. The reason why I had my hair down at the beginning of the video. Pièce de résistance. The one that literally every freaking YouTuber I've ever watched has. Function of Beauty. Similarly to native deodorant, I got started on them because a YouTuber that I watch really liked them, and then I decided I wanted to try them, and I did. And I really like them. So this is actually my second order because I really like them. I like them so much that I even got some for my mother and my dad. Like, I got some for my family. I placed the orders. I like that it's customizable. So for my first one, you can tell I liked it. I'm basically out of my shampoo. The only reason I'm not out of my conditioner is because I also bought the leave-in conditioner because I'm kind of lazy. It takes way too long with the thickness of my hair to do a conditioner and wash it out in the shower. It just takes like 5 minutes of just rinsing to get it out of my hair. And that's the same for any conditioner ever for me. But the leave-in conditioner is really nice because then you just leave it in. You don't have to worry. You can do it after you get out of the shower. So I bought the leave-in conditioner. Now this is pretty potent. You only need to use like half a drop, I would say, for length of my hair. And I really like the shampoo, obviously, and the conditioner. I've been using them for quite a while. And they do make my hair healthy and shiny and soft, and despite all the stuff that I do to it. Like, I bleached the heck out of it. And I color it regularly, and it still does pretty good. And then there's also this shine serum, which I got, which I'm kind of on the fence about. Like, it's okay, but it doesn't really do that much. So, okay, this is my hair now. I'm gonna put the shine serum in. It does add a bit of extra shine, but I don't necessarily think that that product is worth it. The nice part about the shine serum is obviously going to be applied to dry hair. Then I can just pop some of that in. And it's nice to have a low kind of maintenance fix for extra frizzy, crackly looking hair. I obviously like them. I've used them a lot. And I bought more. I did learn from what I did before, and that I did it a bit different in terms of my profile. So usually I say my hair is wavy, which it is, fine, and somewhat oily. My goals initially were anti-frizz, hydrate, shine, strengthen, and color protection. But I actually find that I don't mind having hair color fade out because I like bleaching it now and then putting in temporary dyes. And so it's kind of better for me if it fades out quicker, because then it just like I can re-dye it sooner. So instead I actually put curl definition in. So I'm going to try these out, see how they do. I'm pretty excited to try out the curl definition stuff because I've been loving letting my hair air dry naturally. Today it's kind of a bit more straight. I don't straighten it, but I did like a weird ponytail thing and brushed it pretty frequently so that it wouldn't curl and frizz as much. So normally my hair is pretty wavy. So putting in a curl definition, I'm hoping that I'll get more of my ringlets. Sometimes I get ringlet curls in my hair instead. So I'm hoping that's what this does. But obviously I like it and I give it a pass from me, or like a stamp of approval, because I've obviously bought them for myself and for my mother and for my father. So it's really fun that you can customize it. And yes, it's expensive for a shampoo and conditioner, but the customization is really nice. And again, the same thing for my mother is that you can get it fragrance free, which is a huge thing for her. So she gets hers fragrance free and they barely smell like anything and she doesn't react to them. Whereas me, I love the cherry blossom scent. So I really do like Function of Beauty hair products. I can't help it. They're good. They are really good. They're a bit overpriced, but they are good quality. Well, that was a lot of talking. It probably was a pretty boring video actually, if I think about it, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Hearing my unbiased opinion on these products, I really do enjoy some of them, and apparently I like all of them except for one. But obviously I like the rest of them, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if there's some stuff that you've tried that you want me to try out, or some stuff that you've been curious about. If you want me to try it out, I'll leave it down below and I will try to see if it's cheap enough to get to Canada, and I will try it out. But I just figured I'd show you where I got suckered in by other YouTubers' stamp of approval, or those advertisements or sponsorships where I got sucked into it, and just let you know what products were actually good. An honorable mention of this video, which is really hard to show off, would be Audible. I really do like Audible. My partner and I listen to stories right before bed. It's just kind of relaxing, and we've been listening to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. I think we're on book 4 now, and we've just been going through the series a little bit every night just to help us relax before we go to sleep. So I give that my stamp of approval as well, but that's kind of a more personalized thing. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed, beautiful people, and I will see you next time.